Hi, I'm Gareth Donegal. I'm from Wales. I play the French horn.
My name's Nina. I play the trumpet.
I'm Mark and I come from Spain.
My name is Finn and I'm playing the timpani.
I'm Keith and I'm course director.
My name's Kerry. I'm one of the 3 conductors.
I'm Hamish. I play the French horn.
My name is Jonas. I play percussion. On the German side, I organize the course.
My name's Alex. I play the oboe.
My name is Sarah and I'm the Student Support Officer on the European Youth Music Week course.
I'm Andy Morley and I am one of the conductors. What keeps me coming back to do the course is a mixture of lots of things. It starts off with the people who have become one big family really, and added to that then the opportunity to conduct music that I might not conduct in the orchestras that I work with. I work generally with professional chamber orchestras and amateur chamber orchestras, but to have the opportunity to play Stravinsky's The Rite of Spring, Petrushka, Firebird, Mahler symphonies, Debussy, large orchestral works is a privilege and an honour.
I came last year and it was a really great experience and I learnt a lot from it, and I decided I should come back because I could learn even more and play with really experienced players and have a really nice week.
I think it's sharing what I love doing with other people and looking at it from a kind of age perspective, being I'm slightly older and still really enjoy coming here, so hopefully that the younger ones see that even when you're old and starting to get grey hairs that you can actually still enjoy coming here and it's still a really good week.
I guess just the whole variety of music. So the other courses I have done have been, you are in a symphony orchestra and that's great, but the fact that you get to do the chamber music, there's a lot of the more relaxed aspects like the bands, sometimes impromptu bands in the evening, choir. So it's the fact that you get this great variety of different things, and that, as well as bringing a lot of variety to the course and the music you're playing, really breaks down a lot of the barriers and helps create this great friendship in this very tight group.
I always like to come back because I'm always having a good time with the orchestra, and it's always great to play that kind of music, and we always have nice programs and spend always a good time together.
I came first with my brother and I liked it, and this is the first year I come without him, but I'm having fun anyway, so it's okay.
My favourite part of the course is the first night when everyone introduces themselves and tells us their name, where they're from and why they're here. It's always very interesting.
Actually, strangely, my favourite bit when it's in Germany is when we meet everybody at the airport and old friends turn up and then everybody's hugging and we completely take over an entire area of the airport, much to the irritation of people at the airport, which is always worth doing, especially the officials. When everybody turns up, but we had people who saw us there, were coming on the course, and I remember one girl, Mary from Ireland, said she knew she was going to enjoy from the course from the moment that she found a load of musicians and everybody was so welcoming.
I'd have to say rehearsals. It sounds a bit of a geeky thing to say, but maybe.
I like everything. I don't like to get up early, but it's okay. It's worth.
The concerts, because that's that moment when you really know that everything you've put into the course really pays off, and that's like that huge satisfaction. You see how the course goes from the very first note that's being played on the very first day to that final concert that usually is of a very high standard, and it's just amazing every time you can experience that.
My favourite piece of music is Sibelius.
The Sibelius.
The Sibelius.
The Sibelius Symphony.
Sibelius. One of the most memorable moments was when we did the concert outdoors in Friendsville, Bentheim area, there were no lights, so we had to finish the concert before it went dark. And the last piece we did, I think, was the Adagio from Cacciatore and Spartacus. And I was watching it from the audience, and how the people read the notes, I have no idea at all. It was completely pitch black, but everybody just carried on playing somehow. That was kind of fun. And musically, it was very good too.
There was one year when we were in Schlitz in Germany, where my fellow conductor Mike and I decided that we were going to do a James Bond scene whilst the brass of the orchestra played the James Bond music. Fortunately, I didn't have to dress up as a girl, but Mike did. And we subsequently completely embarrassed ourselves, but it was fun.
I suppose my favourite story about one of the conductors, Andy, was when we were playing Petrushka, and Andy, who had previously been conductor for various ballets and things, has showed us some secret talents, dancing around on the conductor's stand, showing us what the piece would be going like with the dancers there. And that really gave everyone a good laugh, but it also gave everyone a real insight to what the story was about and the characters and what we were trying to portray.
That was the first time I ever played with an orchestra, and that was such a great experience. I came that week because the former conductor of this course told me to come, asked me to come, and I just sat in the last row of the orchestra and had all these crazy instruments around me, and I didn't even know the names of these instruments, and I didn't even know what the guy in front of the orchestra was doing. But people were really nice, and the other percussionists instructed me, and that was a great experience.
As student support officer, I've had quite a few different experiences, and some of the nicer ones have been able to help people who are on the course and are struggling a little bit, either homesick or their dietary requirements are quite difficult, and seeing them get to the end of the week and being comfortable and enjoying themselves, that's nice.
How people make new friends, how people get more confident every day on the course and really learn a lot, things that I would never... sometimes we've got players that improve just in that 1 week in such a way that they would never have if they weren't on the course. And I think that's just great, and that also makes me coming back, and that makes me makes me try to be a part of it.
I was the youngest person last year, and everyone was quite a bit older than me, and it was really nice to learn because obviously they'd gone through the things that I was going through musically, so they'd already done things and they already applied for music colleges and they were at music colleges and all the things that I wanted to do, and it was really good to get advice and suggestions.
I was still quite young and I hadn't been playing the horn for very long, so it was it was great fun to be able to play such huge music, big orchestral repertoire when at that age, and it was a great experience for me, and it was something I wouldn't have been able to do otherwise. We tackled huge music and lots of it in a short space of time, and there's no other way you can do that except on this course.
The ethos, I think, is the bit that really attracts me, and I think makes it such a unique course. Set up after the war between the German and the British governments to heal the wounds of seems like decades of conflict, and using music to do that. Here we are 60 years later, and that clearly is not needed anymore, so we expanded it about 7 or 8 years ago to take in the whole of Europe. I haven't done the count this year, but last year we had 15 different nations, young people, and I think that is what's really at its heart and gives it its special spirit, and that's what's really special about this.
The very first course I did was a kind of a rebirth of the course, because the people who had been doing it since its inception had left the previous year, and the previous year had been a wonderful course because a lot of people came back knowing that Dirk and Mr. Bab were both leaving and they wanted one last course with them. So my first course was a new beginning, but we managed to build it up within 2 or 3 years to the course it is now, and actually there hasn't been much change since then.
I was asked to do the Strauss oboe concerto. We were in Bad Bentheim, and it was an outdoor concert, and did the first 2 movements in the courtyard of a monastery, which was quite nice. It was really, really lovely actually to be given the opportunity to do it. I've only ever done one before that one, and that was with Junior Trinity. So to actually have done another one with Andy actually again several years down the line was lovely, and actually made me appreciate even more kind of how much everything that I've done either here or at Junior Trinity up to that point had actually helped me develop better.
Started off with the piano trio, which played in the chamber concert, and then from that I wrote a piece for the wind and percussion, and then for the symphony orchestra piano concerto, which I always played piano. It was a sort of gradual thing, starting with a small ensemble, then the medium-sized ensemble, and then the big orchestra last year.
I hope that students come to the course because they are stimulated and excited by the music that we choose. I think we try to choose music which is not necessarily something they're going to find in their own youth orchestras, partly because youth orchestras have the responsibility to put on a concert. So the music that we play is often much more difficult to put together, and I would like to think that students come because they're going to get a new experience.
I think it's definitely a good idea. I think you have a lot of fun. You'll learn a lot about orchestral playing, meet a lot of great people.
Here's a chance to play music that you're not likely to play in any other amateur orchestra. There's a chance to meet great people, great musicians, a week of fun, a week of music.
Meeting new people and getting to know new friends, hopefully, for the, like many have been coming for many years. So that's the best bit.
It's a really good experience, I think, to meet people from so many different countries and get to know other people, other young people, other instrumentalists, and very different, kinds of mentalities, and that's great.
You can get in touch with people from all around the world, and in fact I have made friends, and it's okay. You can practice English, you can play good music, and make good friends.
Meeting everyone, meeting people you can never meet otherwise, and mixing with lots of people.
Why not come on the course?